I'm not an attorney or a financial advisor. Consult licensed and accredited professionals in your state or the state where you'll be buying or selling a vehicle. So, you've been pinching pennies and saving money for the one, that classic ride you've always wanted. Meanwhile, you've searched online marketplaces, online auto auctions, and wherever else you can find cool rides. Finally, you found just the right one. It's not a show car, but it's solid and the price is right. Now you just need to go look at it. But how will you pay for it? Cash? Crypto? The choice you make could mean the difference between taking home a prized classic or facing an unexpected encounter with the legal system thanks to badly written laws driven by political posturing. If you have paid cash to buy a vehicle from a private seller, you may have been worried some thug could try to rob you. Well, in many states, you also have to worry about law enforcement and the legal system doing that too. When you travel with large amounts of money, you could get rolled up into what is called civil asset forfeiture, where you get pulled over, the police search your vehicle for whatever reason, and find the cash. This is where it gets tricky. Due to federal and state laws, the police may be able to seize the cash and not even charge you with a crime. The incident would fall under probable cause or reasonable suspicion that the money had been or would be used in illegal activity. In such situations, many people have had to go to court to get their money back, and in many cases, they don't get the full amount back due to legal fees and court costs. For more information on civil asset forfeiture, click on the links below. When passing civil asset forfeiture laws, federal and state politicians proclaimed they were addressing the illicit drug trade, money laundering, and other illegal activities involving the use of cash. But the result is many legitimate transactions can place you in danger, and private car sales is one of them. For example, federal law requires people to report cash transactions of more than $10,000 to the IRS. Unfortunately, car enthusiasts may unknowingly place themselves in jeopardy over an innocent and otherwise legal bit of commerce when transacting in amounts over that $10,000 limit. Now, I want to clearly state that most police do not want to rob you of your hard-earned cash. Most do not wake up and begin thinking about how to deprive innocent people of their property. However, a major issue is not just that your particular state may or may not have civil asset forfeiture laws, but that the danger of it varies by state. So civil asset forfeiture could be illegal in one state, but not in another. In my home state of North Carolina, state law requires a criminal conviction before property can be seized, and the proceeds do not go to law enforcement. So the financial incentive for police departments is not there. However, if a North Carolinian travels to South Carolina to check out a car, you could lose your money in a police search because police there only need to claim probable cause to seize property, and 95% goes to law enforcement agencies. It is the same situation if North Carolinians travel to Virginia, Tennessee, and Georgia. If you leave North Carolina with large amounts of cash for potential purchases, you could place yourself in a dangerous position. If you want to know what the laws say in your state or a state you are visiting, there are a number of attorney sites that answer many of your questions. I did a quick internet search and found a couple of examples at the links below. To be safe, consult an actual attorney licensed in the state where any transactions will occur. So how do you safely and legally buy a vehicle from a private seller? Well, there isn't a truly safe way to do it. Anytime you transact with large sums of physical money, you will assume risk. That's just the reality. But there are other legal ways to consider. Auto Trader recommends Private Seller Exchange, or PSX. You sign up for a membership and go through an 8-step process with steps 6 and 7 involving secure online payment and verification. The link is below. Personally, I would not be inclined to do that since PSX charges $99 or 0.99%, whichever is greater. But there doesn't seem to be anything inherently wrong with using that type of service. Kelley Blue Book actually has an informative article that discusses several methods with pros and cons, including cash, bank transfer, certified check, cashier's check, an escrow service, digital payment services, and peer-to-peer marketplaces like PSX I just mentioned. Of course, banks will push loans for buyers and hype how safe and secure it is, but of course you will pay more in the form of interest and fees. Since interest rates are high at the time of this video, Be sure to do the math to see just how badly they will screw you for using their money. Either way, all of those methods cost money. Last but most definitely not least, there are cryptocurrencies. They can be quick and avoid the hassles of carrying cash. However, stick with the stablecoins like USDT and USDC since they are pegged to the dollar. The main problem is if you are buying some old-timer's 54 coupe that he bought new back in the day, he probably won't have any clue what a smartphone or digital wallet is, much less cryptocurrency. It doesn't hurt to ask a question, but don't get your hopes up. Still, to be safe, you may want to consult an attorney to ensure you do any transactions legally. It is better to pay a little to an attorney than a bunch to Uncle Sam in interest and penalties. Just saying. There are a number of politically driven legal restrictions and considerations if you are using cash to buy that classic you've always wanted. Remember that $10,000 limit I mentioned earlier? Well, if you pay somebody $12,000 for a car and don't report it, according to the IRS website, you are in violation of federal law. So is a seller if he or she doesn't report it. Don't risk it. It isn't worth it. If you don't report the transaction and the seller does, then you may be in some serious legal trouble. The feds do not mess around. Also, remember civil asset forfeiture laws vary by state. Be careful carrying around cash as well, or you could lose your money and not get it back. These are all just more ways that politicians have interfered with your ability to spend your money and use your property. The procedures I carefully went through in my state will be different in other states. Do the research and don't get in a hurry so you stay out of trouble. In the meantime, keep them running and see you on the road.